Ever felt your heart race before a difficult conversation? Whether it's addressing a conflict at work or having a tough talk with a loved one, showing up confidently can make all the difference. In this video, I'm going to share how you can approach these moments with unshakable confidence. Hi, I'm Michelle Terpstra, Chief Revenue Officer and your go-to sales growth expert for entrepreneurs and business owners. And we're going to talk about how you have tough conversations, both in work and outside of work. And this is closing out my 3-part series of how you can apply your sales persuasion and influence skills outside of just making sales and client acquisition. I've gotten some rave reviews on how this has really helped people become more confident in their conversations, which of course is going to help you clearly make more sales, but also just enjoy conversations and feel respected outside of the workplace as well. So first of all is understanding the power of preparation, preparing your thoughts and understanding your goals and anticipating potential conflict. So just like I'm preparing for this YouTube video, you have to prepare for conversations. And it's really important to gather as much information as possible before you have any type of conversation. Because in order to win at a conversation, in order to feel confident about opposing another view or dealing with something really uncomfortable, you have to have the information. It's really, really difficult to do that without the preparation. So make sure you have what you need. So number 2 is the importance of grounding yourself. So before you enter a conversation, it's really important you ground yourself, you disconnect from the emotions around it, and you're calm and focused. Listen, I'm a high performer. I've climbed corporate ladders. I've built businesses. I have had doors slammed in my face in sales positions, cold calling. Like I have met some pretty challenging situations, but grounding yourself is absolutely critical. So there's a couple of ways you can do that I like. One is music. So music is really grounding for me. So that really helps me prepare for a difficult conversation. I also cannot have a difficult conversation if I have not had any type of activity for the day. So for me, it's walking, doing power yoga, for example. Also, weightlifting makes me feel really grounded just with the weight and the pressure. It feels great. I have some other clients and friends that like to light candles, and the smell, the aroma, the heat, it calms them as well. So it's really critical you have some type of grounding tradition, right, that you do before difficult conversations. And make sure that the difficult conversations are at a time where you can be calm and connected. So don't book difficult conversations in the middle of a chaotic day. Like find a time where it works for you and stick with it. Framing your intentions clearly. So this is really, really a key part of it, is because if you set your intentions clearly and you communicate them clearly, then you're going to disarm the other person to know that you are there to create a positive outcome for both parties. And it's a very, very rare situation that someone wouldn't want a win-win situation out of a difficult conversation. But what is really common, and I can't even tell you how often this happens, is that the intention is miscommunicated because it's never communicated. So please communicate. All right. And state it in the beginning. When you state it in the beginning, you also take the power of the conversation, which is really critical. Active listening as a confidence tool. All right. Now that might sound like, ooh, that sounds different and interesting, but it is absolutely true because it shows that you care, that you're trusting, and that you're connected to the conversation. So it actually elevates your authority in a negotiation around a tough conversation. Okay. So it's really, really, really important. So one thing that can really happen super often, this actually happens in sales calls too, but in this situation as well, is that when you're actively listening like you should, you forget details by the time it's your turn to talk. So taking physical notes while you're speaking with someone is really critical, because you have to be able to go back and look at them in order to recap the conversation and to move forward. And some people will type in the corner, oh my God, that's like my biggest pet peeve. Please don't type while someone else is talking. Oh my gosh, it's like nails on a chalkboard. So just let them know that you're taking notes during the conversations. And that also shows that you're actively listening and that you care, all of which are really important in these types of conversations. Okay. Next thing is to use assertive, positive language. So I think, just, maybe, all of those lower your status. So it is really important that you aren't using those. So instead of saying I think, instead state your thoughts and needs clearly and confidently. I believe, I know, history shows, I understand that you feel this way, but, all right, these are all ways that you can be confident in your communication. Next thing is managing your own emotional reactions. So I speak about this a lot, but business and life, everything is emotional, okay? And some people are better at hiding their emotions or disconnecting than others. I'm actually a highly emotional person, highly emotional. And so I know what it feels like to want to react, but you need to respond. So my maiden name is Cuoco, and the thing is I'm Italian. I'm very Italian. My dad has like 100 cousins down all of the chains, and we have these big parties, and it's super fun. But Italians are just known for being emotional beings. I'm a very emotional being, and it served me in my life, but I've had to train myself to control the reactions and instead to respond. And the best way to do that is all of these things I'm talking about allows you to show up grounded, calm, and confident. Taking notes allows you to go back and to respond to things that were said that may be inaccurate or bothered you, but you didn't have to react during the moment. Okay? So it's really, really important that you do this, and preparation will help you control your emotions. And then eventually you just train yourself into responding instead of reacting. And for me, it also helps me when I'm physical throughout the day. So I've done kickboxing, Peloton, power yoga, Legray, Pilates, Orange Theory, like you name it. But that exertion allows me to control my emotions and to show up in the way that I should as a leader and a business owner. Next is you always want to end on a constructive note and have closure to the conversation. And this is a really, really important one that I want to spend a little bit of time here talking about, is that just like in sales conversations, you close to the next step in the pipeline, right? Like you have to close your conversation and know what the expectations are moving forward. Okay. So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, let's say it was a conflict conversation that you were having with your spouse or your partner on a decision that you need to make as a family. And so you both want to achieve a certain goal, but you may want different paths to that goal, right? That's like a really common thing that happens in marriage and relationships and all of the things. What's the path to the goal? Do we agree on it? Right? So ending the conversation with, this is what I'm going to do before I can make a decision, and I need X amount of time in order to sift through it. Okay. And then, hey, let's talk. We give a date and we'll make a final decision together. And then you can ask the other person what they need in order to make that decision on that same date. And if that date needs to change because that person needs more time, that's totally fine, but you have established a next step. That is respectful communication. That's good for building connectiveness and relationship building. It also helps you be viewed in a confident way that someone can trust what you're saying and what you desire. And I will say this is a huge thing about respect. And I love being liked, but I really like being respected. And what I've taught you today will help you elevate your respect level. And if you do it right, guess what's going to happen? You're also going to increase your likability. All right. Well, if you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit subscribe, comment, share it with someone that would benefit from this. And friends, if you're not part of my Sunday Sales Delight newsletter, please get on there. You can go to sundaysalesdelight.com.